Oh my gosh, why is this shit not working now? Hello. Welcome back to another live. Seems like the video portion is not working of this live. But we shall see. Says great connection, but what the fuck, dude? Properties, cam link. Boom. Boom. We're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live stream via JQ Fit Life on Instagram. Today we are going to talk about POTS syndrome and diet. I'm going to wait for a couple people to get on here. Yo, Thomas, what's good, dude? Why doesn't it show me that anybody's in here? Thomas, W in the chat if you can still hear me, if you're still here. I'm assuming that you like the video. Thanks so much, buddy. Hey man, we still never got on a call. What the heck? There we go. WW. Yes, sir. You're like in the background. Nobody can see you. It's that dark. All right, now the analytics are coming up. All right, love you, bye. See ya. You had your first big song come out. That's sick, dude. What, link it, dude. Let's see it. Let's hear it. Let's play it live. I think that's good news, man. That's good news. But link it. Let's play it live. Let's listen. I'd love to hear it. All right, so I had a comment on one of my videos talk about how I did an elimination diet and what that looked like. Yeah, basically how I did it. And so in this video, I'm going to go over how I did that and why I did it. So with POTS, I think for a lot of people, they understand. Thomas, put the link in. I think for a lot of people, they kind of understand that it could be a lot of different things could make you have flare-ups. One thing that I noticed when I was going through the peak of my POTS was that I was having flare-ups that had like a weird relationship to kind of foods that I was eating. So I have had quite a bit of experience with elimination diets throughout my lifetime because I've been dieting on and off since I was like 17 years old. That was the first time that I ever felt my belly jiggle. And I was like, okay, I got to lose some weight. So just by doing kind of like a caloric deficit, you do an elimination diet by default sometimes, right? So I ended up realizing that I was having some issues. Well, okay, so I had done an elimination diet beforehand because of some other stuff like anxiety and stuff like that. Thomas, I do not see the link, dude. Yeah, because of anxiety and stuff like that back in the past. So I had done what is called a FODMAP diet. I also did the GAPS diet, the gut and psychology syndrome diet, to get this stuff under control. And then when POTS happened to me, I think that the body, that illness starts within the gut. I think a lot of stuff starts within the gut, and gut health was like the main thing that I was concerned about for a very long time. And so anytime that something goes wrong with me, I always defer to the gut. And so what I had started to notice was that when I would eat like simple sugars or like certain types of dairy and let's try Surge B10. What is the song? when I would eat like simple sugars or eat certain types of dairy, that's when I would get the most symptomatic. I'm going to search B10 free mun. This has almost 400K views on it, dude. What the frick? That's crazy. So yeah, certain types of dairy. So what I did was I eliminated all dairy that wasn't like hard dairy or whatever, right? That didn't have like this casein protein in it. And basically all I was eating for dairy was anything that was like, it would be like Greek yogurt or like goat's milk or goat cheese or like feta cheese and sharp cheddar. Those are the things that I was eating, and I didn't have any gluten for a very long time. No gluten, and I didn't have any simple sugars either. So I took out a lot of things, right? Just from that, you're taking out so many freaking food groups. And was it difficult? Yeah, but I think that it was one of the most important things that I did to get myself better, because I didn't really have the knowledge that I have now. So I wouldn't have had to take such an extreme approach, I don't think. Yeah, basically an anti-inflammatory diet, Thomas. So yeah, if I would have known what I know now, I don't think that I would have had to do such an extreme thing, but I had to do it, and I wanted to be free and clear of POTS and stuff at the time. So I did all that. Really dialed in the nutrition side with protein and like getting carbohydrate from things like sweet potato or rice cakes, and then trying to stay away from some nuts. Actually, like nut butters really got my heart rate up high for some reason. So like almond butter and peanut butter for some reason would make my heart rate skyrocket. And so what I did was I ate cashew butter instead, and cashew butter still to this day, man, very good. So I would eat that, and then yeah, for breakfast I remember I was slamming just like eggs, and sometimes I would do like quick oats, or not quick oats, what's it, overnight oats, sweet potato fries. Yeah, definitely those, definitely that. But every night, like clockwork, my diet would be a pound of ground beef, a pound of bacon, and Brussels sprouts. I was still wanting to like compete in powerlifting and strongman and stuff like that, so I had that many calories at the end of the night. Another thing that really ended up helping me when I'm looking back, right, was being in a slight caloric deficit for a very long time. Now there's evidence to suggest that being in a prolonged calorie deficit, like a slight calorie deficit, is actually very good for longevity. It's not great for performance, it's not great for muscle building or anything like that. But for a while I just held on to a caloric deficit, and I did intermittent fasting, stuff like that, and that all really seemed to help. So how you kind of go about doing things like that, though, is, and this is something that I have a lot of my clients do, like my POTS clients. I'll have them, because we have the resources, right? I plug them into an app, and then what they'll do is they'll send me pictures of everything that they eat, and then they'll tell me if they have symptoms like after each meal and how closely after each meal it is. Because with that data, I can determine, well, this might have actually had something to do with it, or it might be negligible, one of the two. So more times than not, I do have people get rid of things like, like candy or fucking ice cream, shit like that, and see how they do. Sometimes I get people to get rid of gluten, and a lot of times, to be honest with you, timing out gluten, weird enough. That sounds weird, and I know, but timing it out sometimes lets people like have a good day. So like carbohydrate, when you eat it at night, it can help get you sleepy and stuff like that. And when you're sleeping, if you have symptoms, like there's not really a big deal, right? Because you're sleeping. So sometimes having people like, hey, if you're going to eat gluten, make sure that it's at night closer to like bedtime, that type of thing. So yeah, with that, then the way to reintroduce certain foods, right? Because that's probably something that people are wondering about. because I do in fact eat gluten. I eat gluten like every single day. I do in fact eat dairy. I eat it like every single day. I still hold true, by the way, to a lot of the stuff that I've thought this entire, like, I'm not a big glutton for gluten. Like, I don't eat a lot of gluten just in general anymore. I don't think it's necessarily the greatest for a lot of people. I've also been like not through the ringer, but voluntarily through the ringer with different testing. So like I've had genetic testing, I've had blood testing and stuff like that to determine what sort of like diets and stuff. And matter of fact, I am getting genetic tested again for some more stuff and more blood work, because my whole like mission in life, aside from helping people and, you know, becoming successful and stuff like that, is to live a very healthy life and be a fucking phenomenal dad. And I think that the only way that can happen is that if I'm operating at 1,000,000 miles per hour all the time and in my best health, in my best wealth. And so, yeah, I'm getting genetic and blood testing done again so that I can make sure that I'm supplementing the right things, on the right diet, stuff like that. Longevity is really important to me. Being a good athlete, being an amazing athlete, rather a great athlete, is important to me. So that's why I go through all this testing voluntarily, not necessarily because I feel like something's always wrong. I get blood work at least 1 to 2 times a year, check hormone levels, all that shit. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh, bringing foods back in. So once your pot syndrome feels like more under control, once mine felt more under control, you know, alongside of like exercising and hydration, things of that nature, then you can start to slowly reintroduce foods back in. And I mean slowly. So like 1 meal a day you use gluten, 1 meal a day you use dairy. And this is once you're feeling like good, not like kind of good, but good. You reintroduce the stuff 1 meal a day, and it's a little bit. The next, like, for like a week or two. After that, you do a little bit more in that 1 meal a day. The next week, or, you know, 2 weeks later, you add more. So you're just slowly titrating the serving sizes up. Were you with hypoglycemia? I find my blood sugar really key, and I have to keep it up. If I don't, I have massive symptoms. Yeah, dude, that's something that I have noticed a lot with POTS people. Especially, I've onboarded quite a few people recently that have some real blood sugar issues. They've talked to me about, like, you know, them having symptoms, and I talked to them about their exercise and their meal timing and stuff like that. And when they're having symptoms, I'm like, this just sounds like a blood sugar crash. And for people with like blood sugar crashes, like, if you're not, for people that can actually feel those effects, the blood sugar effects, and you have POTS syndrome too, God, does it exemplify the issue. It like makes it so much more profound, the issues that you're going through, that it's really important to keep that in check. Now, am I saying that most people are hypoglycemic? No, they're not medically hypoglycemic, but there is enough of a shift in blood sugar that they can feel it, especially because they have POTS. So, yeah, for example, if I don't eat for 4 hours, I have massive adrenaline dump type problems. Yeah, 100%. Yep. So I was the same way. I personally, now I don't really have much issue. And like, if you ask my girlfriend, she'd be like, this guy never eats. And I have to be very careful because my training volume and stuff, obviously, and I'm very active. So I have to be very careful about making sure that I get enough calories in a day. But most of my calories come at night. But I don't have those issues anymore. Sometimes I do. Depends on how hard the workouts are. But I'm fasted basically most of the day. Like, I eat breakfast and then I fast like the majority of the day. It's something that my nutritionist even is like, you got to get better at. And we're working on it. Did you guys know? This is naive backwards. Evian water, naive. Thomas, let's listen to this song, dude.
Today, we're introducing the next chapter of Notion AI. It's called Q&A, and it gives you the superhuman ability to remember absolutely everything.
Wait, I think that I can screen share this shit. There we go. I'm Hispanic, dude. I'm Mexican. I'm half Mexican.
Yo, B-man. From my broski moon, son home. Fuck the ops. Lies.
Is this it?
Free broski. Yo. Alright, come on, man. Yo. Dicen Vitenca, me estoy de bando. What the fuck de que estáis hablando? Alzo mi mano y el sí no lo marco. Ninguno me ha intimidado, solo son lies. Como si ellos no han sido cazados, como si ellos fuesen los más gangsters. Y por ninguno ha bajado, no estoy en las calles ni quiero estar. Me muevo solo si hay beneficio y si no hago dinero me pongo sad. No me puedo quedar atrás. Se quedó sin squad, ni siquiera sale de su cuadra. Pero entendí que lo hizo musical, ok, entonces lo veo normal. Elegí estar bien pero pienso mucho y cada vez más me suelo alejar. Amigos vendiéndose por faldas, ¿dónde quedó la lealtad? Por eso mismo que camino solo, recto, no me puedo desviar. Demasiado leal para esos hombres, mi tiempo con ellos no puedo gastar. Ellos me llaman broski lol. No tenemos ningún vínculo, así que ahórrate ese bro. No confío.
Thomas, did you make the beat for that?
Yo nadie, estoy chilling en el blog. Si ando con K&S. Free my broski moon, son home. Pronto le toco aquí en el blog. Las tranzas empezaban de noche y se acababan al ver el sol. Moon vigilaba metalos al pico y rostro en la mesa no podía quedar. Era solo un coche llegando al destino y la cara de Moon no se podía filtrar. Enemigo intentando que no llegues a casa y darte dislo con su gang. Ops dentro y fuera del blog. Protege tu espalda y lleva tu shank. Yo, sí que mi letra molesta y que a algunos se suele frustrar. Lo hago con mala intención. Solo quiero verlo rabiar. Free my broski moon, son home. Pronto le toco aquí en el blog. Las tranzas empezaban de noche y se acababan al ver el sol. Moon vigilaba mientras los al pico y rostro en la mesa no podía quedar. Era solo un coche llegando al destino y la cara de Moon no se podía filtrar. Yo, broski, man. Son home, man, son home.
Yo, that was good, dude. Holy bro, that was wow. I am thoroughly impressed, dude. That was crazy. Fucking sick, bro. Nice. Wow. What the fuck? 350,000 views? Are you getting paid? Are you getting fucking paid, dude? You better be getting paid for that. Damn. Nice job, bro. A1. Now, you're going to have to explain to me this. What's gang culture like? It's big in Spain. What is gang culture like over there? Fuck the pot shit for 1 minute. I got to know. Also, am I done screen sharing? Can you guys still see my screen? That was sick. That was crazy. Wow. Good for you, bro. Good for freaking you. That's dope. Wow. Wow. You're just talking a lot of that rah-rah shit. Yeah. Yeah, here you don't see a lot of like gun shit or knife shit, you know? It's mostly guns. Yikes, dude. That's crazy. Wow, I got a lot of questions for you, bro. We'll talk about it someday. I got a lot of questions for you. Cause that's cool. That's really cool. Produced by Thomas. How'd you get hooked up with that, dude? I'm going on your YouTube channel right now. Oh, so this guy took a beat from you and then paid for the copyright or something, I'm guessing. Yeah. So you make beats and you sell them off of YouTube. That's such a sick hustle, dude. That's a great grind. Subscribing right now. Boom. I'm gonna sub to you on my podcast channel too. Yeah. It's good fun. That's a whole career, dude. That's a whole career, bro. You're going to be very successful. I just subbed to you on both of my YouTube channels. Yeah. That will be your first 1,000,000 streams. Damn, dude. Yeah, once you're struggling less with pots, you'll definitely enjoy it. You'll be outside in LA at the clubs going crazy. Hopefully not drinking, but being the cool dude sitting at the bottle table chilling. Thomas, I forget, dude. Are you still in high school or are you out of high school? I can't remember. Issue. It like makes it so my stream thing here is not updated at all. There we go. Oh, okay. Got it. Do you live with your parents? Got it. Got it. Are you making cash from music? Yeah, fucking. Oh, you live in London. Damn. That motherfucker's gotta be expensive. All things Maloney, what's cracking, dude? Do you find noise to be an issue with pots? I might try loop earplugs. I guess I don't really. What do you mean? Do I find noise to be an issue? Like all the time? Or I haven't noticed anything specific to noise for my pots, but maybe I did back in the day. What I do know for a lot of people with pots, the reason why a lot of people can't like go outside and stuff is because of overstimulation, just in general, being overstimulated. And what I tell a lot of people in that scenario is if they're going outside or if they're going like to the mall or something like that, to try sunglasses. Funny enough, sunglasses has been a tip that I've given so many of my POTS clients. But yeah, I give them that advice. Go outside with sunglasses, and a lot of times it helps out. Noise though, I haven't really noticed. No, not for me. None of my clients have even said anything about that, to be real. Thomas, you're noise sensitive? Do we mean like loud noises? I guess I don't. Can you explain a little bit more? My hair looks crazy, dude. It's social gathering, the overstimulation. I'm not sure why I get off. Yeah, I think I'm going to be real with you guys. Things like that and being outside in the overstimulation, I think that's more of the anxiety portion of POTS than it is anything else. Like being overstimulated, the anxiousness from being overstimulated, I think that's all connected. So maybe that's part of it. That could be part of what you're experiencing. Of course, I'm just guessing here. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Sorry I can't help you out with that. If you have any other questions, please comment below. Let me know. 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 Noise, but I think you're right with it being overstimulated. Yeah. Yeah, so even the light thing, overstimulation, like, and that's exactly why I tell people to put like sunglasses on, because I would notice when I would go outside, I'd get overstimulated and be like, oh my God, I'm going to pass out. And then when I would have like sunglasses on, it wouldn't happen at all. Now I do what I did in that situation was, yeah, I wore the sunglasses and stuff, but I also did exposure therapy to myself, basically, just like made myself go do things that I knew would overstimulate me. So I'd get used to it. And now I'm fine going outside and shit like that. But yeah, I think that a lot of that type of stuff has to do with the anxiety portion of POTS being overstimulated. Because yeah, if you're in your house with loud music or with like a bright light, or if you're in your backyard and you feel safe and stuff, a lot of stuff doesn't really seem to bother people, you know? All Things Maloney, I think you just commented on a video of mine. I wonder if your comment is the one that made me do this live. Was it? It was. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Wait, no, it wasn't. Wait, yes, it was. It was. You just got diagnosed last week? How old are you? Pasta, please don't take it away. 27-year-old female. That's funny, dude. Like, pasta, please don't take it away. Well, I'm not your coach yet, so I wouldn't take it away. But if I was your coach, maybe I would take it away. 27 years old. What? Yeah, I guess I read your comment, but I guess I didn't like think about it too deep. Where to go? Are you able to work out and stuff? 17 minutes on the treadmill. Yeah. All right, we're taking the pasta away. You're stuck at 17 minutes on the treadmill. We're taking the fucking pasta away. No, it's a good thing that you're actually able to work out, though. That's key. Are you doing the CHOPS protocol or the Levine? Or are you just kind of winging it? I asked if you could talk more about. Yeah, so I did talk about elimination diet probably before you were on here. So if you have any specific questions, go ahead and ask me what you want to know about those. Otherwise, revisit this video when you're done. But yeah, I'd be happy to answer any questions for the next like 15 minutes. I'll be on for 15 more minutes. So go ahead and ask me any questions about the elimination diet type of stuff, and I'll do my best to answer. I feel like you would trip because of dizziness, or Thomas, do you work out at all? Dude, if not, you need to, bro. We gotta get you on that grind, that hustle. Oof. We gotta get you looking like a Chad, bro. Thomas is a good name, but I want you to look like a Chad. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Dizziness was one of my biggest, my most prevalent symptoms, actually. Yeah. I saw that it said the worst food that I found triggered my symptoms, to be honest with you, were like white carbohydrate, aside from rice. So like breads, pasta, cakes, simple sugars, cookies, shit like that. And I am a sweet fiend. Not anymore, actually. Dude, I used to have Culver's custard every single night for a whole freaking year. And because I'm just like a sweets fiend, but I've recently cut that. Actually, my girlfriend before New Year's this past year, right? She was like, I bet you can't stop eating ice cream. I was like, fucking watch me. And I started it. She's like, before or after New Year's. Do it after New Year's. I'm like, I'm fucking do it before then. I'm gonna do it before that. And I did it. I haven't. I'm not a fiend anymore. I've eaten like ice cream maybe 3 times this whole year. Sugar is bad. Sugar is not good for people with POTS for the most part. I'm not going to do a super broad, it's a broad statement, but I'm not going to say that's bad for everybody, but it's bad for most. That's what I've noticed. Gluten, dairy, certain types of dairy. But yeah, to be honest with you, and big boluses of carbohydrate. So like big servings of carbohydrate at once for a lot of people, unless it's like with fiber and shit like that. But most people don't do well with like a big bowl of cereal, a big bowl of pasta, a big thing of rice, Yeah. But like sweet potato and stuff, I haven't seen anybody really have a big issue with like eating potatoes in decent quantities, or sweet potato, even oatmeal, slow digesting carbs. We've got more viewers on here and only 2 likes. Hit that freaking like button, dude, and ask some questions. Ask some freaking questions. All Things Maloney, you welcome. Yeah, one of my favorite things when I was first dealing with POTS was doing overnight protein oats. I really loved that. But I stayed away from nut butters for the most part, besides cashew butter, which is something that I talked about. But basically, here's the skinny on it, okay? For an elimination diet, you want to just pay attention to what foods you do eat throughout a day. So like when I have clients, I plug them into my app and they get a food journal, and I have them take pictures of every single food that they eat throughout the day. And with that food, or with that data, with the pictures, they'll also update me on when they had symptoms in relation to the food. So do they have, symptoms a half hour later, 20 minutes, 15, an hour? Because based on that, we can make a pretty good educated guess on what's bothering them. And then go from there. Then we do elimination diet from there. And so I can look at trends, right? I'll look at their week in review and be like, when we have our Skype call every week, I'll be like, hey, every time you had this type of food, you seem to have symptoms within 20 to 30 minutes of it. Let's try eliminating that for a week and see if that helps you out. More times than not, helps them out. And then we just slowly reintroduce it back into their diet as they get better. So when they actually get better, we slowly reintroduce it. Titrate the servings up. I didn't pick my nose, okay? There was a hair, and I was trying to stop the itch. POTS anxiety tip, heartbeat, hyper-awareness, all that doom feeling. Did you experience this? Yeah. POTS anxiety tips. So, what's up, Erica? She's back. Erica is one of my clients, y'all. We work together. We just had a call this morning. POTS anxiety tips. Yeah, heartbeat hyper-awareness. Thomas, this is something that I've talked to most of my clients about. There's this thing called interoception. And interoception is basically I'm not going to butcher it completely, so why don't I just read the actual definition of it? Interoception is a lesser known sense that helps you understand and feel what's going on inside your body. So interoception, when I talk to my clients about it, it's basically like a hyper awareness of what's going on inside of your body. And for some reason, people with POTS have this awareness that like their heart, you can feel your heartbeat, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. So a lot of my clients with POTS, they'll take their heart rate, they'll measure it, right, with their Apple Watch, their Whoop, whatever it is. And I always tell them to get rid of that shit because activity trackers are the death of POTS people. But they'll take it and be like, yeah, my heart rate was at this, X heart rate or whatever. I'll be like, yeah, and? So? And they're like, well, what do you mean? Isn't that high? I'm like, no, it's not high. You just think it's high because you can feel it. You just think it's high because you're aware of it. And the awareness gives you anxiety. And then you have to check it. And then you get anxious about checking it. And it's a constant loop, right? It's a thought loop. It's a cycle. So I think just understanding that when you have POTS, for some reason, you have a hyper awareness of what's going on in your body. So like you can feel your heart rate. And so somebody without POTS might have the same exact heart rate as you at the same exact time, but they're not freaking out about it because they don't have that hyper awareness that the person with POTS has. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I think that trying to calm yourself based on the fact that like just because you can feel it doesn't mean that there's something wrong. Just because you can feel your heartbeat doesn't mean that it's going crazy. Doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. The doom feeling, I think, comes from, correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas. A lot of people with POTS have done way too much WebMDing. They've done way too much Googling. They've done way too much doom and gloom stuff on Reddit forums or like Facebook support groups. And they hate that they're going through what they're going through. And I can empathize with you and sympathize and say that, you know, yeah, POTS syndrome symptoms fucking suck, dude. And they're real, and it really does suck. However, you're not going to die from it. Like, you just won't die from it. The doom and gloom comes from the thought that, like, something is so wrong with me and I can't do anything about this. But the fact of the matter is that, yeah, you can do something about it. And I think that really, if people with POTS syndrome are going to be upset about anything, they should be upset with themselves for not doing anything. Right? And I'm not trying to be an asshole with that. I just think that that's probably what people with POTS syndrome should actually be upset about, is if they're not doing anything actively to figure out what the solution to their problem is. That's really what they should have a problem with. Yeah, for sure. That's exactly it. Symptom gives you anxiety. Anxiety makes symptoms worse. Mike Tyson just entered the chat, aka me. Thank you. I do agree with what you said. It's hard mentally for me, but it's definitely something I want to conquer. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I'm sorry you're going through that. I mean, it sucks, but, you know, the fact is that you are okay. You're going to be okay. Just because you can feel something happening doesn't mean that it's bad. Just because you feel like you're going to pass out doesn't mean that you're going to pass out. And likely the story is that you have not passed out yet. So, yeah, man. Yeah, it's all about hardening that mind, calcifying that mind, right? Callousing that mind. I have a lot of clients that I just tell to go do hard shit and do shit that's out of their comfort zone, because I find that with POTS syndrome, a lot of clients are dealing more so with anxiety of POTS syndrome rather than actual POTS syndrome. And what I like to do is try to give my clients the confidence that they have the capabilities and abilities to do things. So yeah, you know, making sure that they know that they're capable of exercise. And I don't directly tell them that most times. I make them do things to show and prove to themselves that they are capable and able. That's my job, folk. This has been a good live so far. All things Maloney, that is truth. Word to your mother. Yeah, I had a electrocardiologist tell me, I got really lucky with one of them. I was having like a moment with POTS, and I had my Whoop strap on. I was looking at my Whoop strap, and honestly, my Whoop strap was being defective, but it kept giving me super high readings randomly throughout the day that my heart rate was jumping to like 175. And so I went in to ask about it, and I was like, whatever, I got this test done, and I showed him the results from my Whoop or whatever, and then I was like, well, isn't this weird? Like, shouldn't I be worried about this? He's like, I don't know, is it weird? I was like, fuck, you tell me. Thomas, you probably heard this story a million times. It's like, you tell me. He's like, well, I don't know. You tell me. You're the one that's having it. I'm like, well, is this normal? He's like, it might be for you. And I was like, oh, it might be for me. And also people that don't have POTS, that might be normal for too. They just don't know that it's happening. Yes, somewhere with me, I've had it scanned. Just easier than said than done in my case. It's just the anxiety I need to work on. Thank you for that. It's true. Yeah, dude, of course. We're out here forging soldiers, bro. Your nerve is just unable to communicate. Slow down. Doesn't mean it, the speeding heart is bad. Yeah, a speeding heart isn't inherently bad either, right? Your heart goes fast when you have an adrenaline dump, when you're dealing with anxiety. Your heart goes fast for a lot of different reasons, right? It doesn't mean that it's bad. I don't think most people even know what cardiac arrest is either. Do you guys know without Googling it? Do you know what happens? That's not a knock on anybody, by the way. I'm just like, I think that a lot of people with POTS have a misconception of like what happens physiologically, you know? Like what actually happens when you go into cardiac arrest. Erica, I'm sure you do. You went to school for that. Well, not for that, but for the body, you know? Yeah, I think that a lot of people have. Yeah, but like, yeah. I mean, yeah, but do you know what happens for that? Like, what has to occur for all that to happen? Here. Yeah, so, okay, then Thomas, don't even look it up. Don't even look it up. Don't look it up if you don't know. But because I don't want you to start like freaking out or thinking about it. But just know, like the POTS stuff, like people have this fear of like cardiac arrest or like heart attacks and stuff. It's not going to happen. You know, it's just not going to happen. So if you don't know, right, I guess not knowing is... Not knowing is sometimes better than, or not knowing is sometimes scarier than knowing. But when you have the information, you can also make shit up, right? Like your mind can also go into this loop where like you suddenly start feeling certain things happening. I have been battling POTS for 5 years now. I feel like the anxiety get better, the stronger physically in cardio you become. Justin really good at motivating and encouraging that. Thanks, Erica. Yeah, I know you went to go do that, dude. I fucking know that. Erica, thank you so much for the kind words. Just over here trying to do God's work, man. Trying to help people. For real. For real, for real. I mean that too. I'm just trying to help. So Thomas, hop on board. All Things Maloney, hop on board. I have 5 more client spots that I'm taking. Only have 5 more that I'm taking before I like raise the price, and I'm gonna jack it up quite a bit actually, just because time is limited, and the demand has been good. But what was I gonna read? Yeah, Thomas, don't do any research on that, dude. There's no point in doing it. You're gonna freak yourself out. But just know that like there's never been anybody that's died from POTS so far, from what I've seen. There's never been anybody that's died from symptoms of POTS. You know, I've never even heard of somebody passing out and smacking their head and dying or anything like that. So if I'm wrong about that, somebody let me know. But I'm pretty sure, you know. Erica, you're gonna freak this poor guy out, dude. You're gonna freak this poor guy out. That's all right. He probably already researched it. Yeah, POTS people, like, you don't have this because of POTS. You don't have cardiac arrest or a heart attack normally because of POTS. You may have it if you have POTS, but it's never an effect of POTS, as far as I know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving out medical advice. Instagram, JQ Fit Life. Email is jqfit1@gmail.com. putting that in the chat so you guys can get in contact with me. Thomas, we've already talked about talking. I know, I'm just messing with you, Erica. I know you're helping. I know you're just trying to help. You're in London. It's 9:04 p.m. right now. 9:04. No, Erica, don't be quiet. Don't be quiet in the chat. I was just kidding around. I was genuinely just kidding. Just giving you a hard time. Produced by Thomas. It's 3 a.m. Yeah, it's 9:04. 9:04 p.m. It's freaking bedtime, dude. It's Betty by time. So that means that you are 5 hours ahead? Yeah. No. 10, 11, 12. 6. You're 6 hours ahead. Yeah, it would be like midday for me if we talk tomorrow. Your evening time. Yeah. I've got time tomorrow, though. Let me see. What does my calendar look like, Erica, tomorrow? Because I have my calendar now. Beef jerky. That's a good question. That's a very good question. A good snack is beef jerky because it's got sodium and protein. It's got sugar though. Weirdest thing. It's got sugar. Appointments. Calendar. Produced by Thomas. I got 11:30 my time open. That'd be 6:30 your time. He said, what was bad for you? Beef jerky or pretzels? Thomas, I got 11:30 my time open. Shoot me a Instagram DM. What? No, beef jerky is great. Beef jerky is amazing for you. Beef jerky is objectively good for you. Very good. Well, the teriyaki beef jerky, he might be saying because there's sugar in it. He might be saying that. But beef jerky, for the, definitely super, I mean, for normal people, it's really good for them, right? It's a low carb, low sugar, even though there is sugar, low sugar, high protein option, low fat, like moderate sodium, high enough sodium for somebody with POTS to benefit from it, but moderate enough for people that don't have POTS to like not have any sort of adverse reaction to it. Yeah, it's a really good option. Thomas, yeah, dude, shoot me a DM. We'll get it figured out. We'll hop on a FaceTime. We will hop on a FaceTime. I'm excited to ask you questions about your music shit. Oh, snap. All right, guys, it is about that time. I'm going to go home, eat some Kodiak protein cupcakes, and go to bed. Or Kodiak cup protein muffins, not cupcakes. But I'm going to go do that and then go to bed. Your boy's been up early. Something that I have been doing recently. I feel good about this. I've been, not recently, I've done it 2 days now. But I've been getting up early to have some quiet time with Jesus. And I've been reading my Bible, boy. I've been reading my Bible. So yeah, I'm going to do that again tomorrow. So I need to go to bed at a decent time to be able to do that. Spend some time with God. So, all right, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Thanks for watching this live. Thanks for being on here. Produced by Thomas. Hit me up, dog. We'll chat tomorrow. Erica, thanks again so much for being one of my best supporters, hopping on these lives whenever I'm on them. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow night. I'll be live again tomorrow night. That's what the schedule is. So, yeah. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great night.